It is 5:58 in the morning. The alarm has not gone off yet, but Jamal is already awake. He has been awake for an hour, staring at the ceiling and counting the same number in his head. $728. That is what he owes. That is what he did not pay yesterday. The grace period ended last night. He checks his phone and sees 3 missed calls from a number he does not recognize. He puts the phone face down on the nightstand, closes his eyes for 2 more minutes, and looks at the driveway in his mind. The car is there. The job is 22 miles away. He needs one to get to the other. Today depends on that chain holding together. It will not. To understand what is about to happen to Jamal, you need to understand the trap he walked into 18 months ago and why millions of people walk into the same one every year. Jamal earns about $48,000 a year working at a regional warehouse. He needed a car, not a luxury, a tool. His job site is not near public transit, and the nearest bus stop is 3 miles from the facility. So, when the dealer offered him a 5-year-old SUV with 61,000 miles on it, financed over 72 months at 19.4% interest, he signed. The monthly payment was $728, or about 18% of his take-home pay before groceries, rent, utilities, and emergencies. He was not reckless. He was out of options. Average car prices in the United States have now crossed $50,000, and average monthly payments on new vehicles sit around $750, with 1 in 5 auto loans exceeding $1,000 a month. Subprime borrowers, people with credit scores below roughly 650, are charged rates between 15 and 25%. Jamal's rate of 19.4% is not unusual. It is standard. The math never worked. It worked long enough to fail 3 weeks ago when his daughter ended up in the emergency room and the bill came to $2,000. By 6:15 in the morning, Jamal is dressed and drinking coffee he made yesterday and reheated. He opens the loan servicer's app. The screen tells him his account is 24 hours delinquent and that an $85 late fee has already been added. He calls the number back. An automated system answers. He presses 2 for account services and is told the wait time is about 40 minutes. He hangs up. He has to leave in 15 minutes. He grabs his keys and walks to the driveway. The car starts and he exhales. For about 12 minutes, everything is normal. He is on the highway in the left lane, making decent time when his phone buzzes on the seat beside him. It is not a call. It is a text from the loan servicer. Your account is past due. To protect your account, vehicle access has been restricted. Please call immediately or make payment in full to restore normal operation. He reads it at a red light and does not fully understand it yet. 30 seconds later, the engine dies. And what just happened to Jamal has a name. It is called a starter interrupt device, and it is buried in the fine print of roughly 40% of all subprime auto loans. The lender installs a small GPS-linked module in the vehicle at the time of sale. If you fall behind on payments, the lender can send a signal over the cellular network that cuts power to the ignition. No court order, no warning call, no appeal. The car simply stops working wherever you happen to be. A private company can reach into your vehicle from a server room in another state and turn it off while you are driving on a public highway, based entirely on a missed payment and without judicial oversight. In 2024, these devices were active in over 1.2 million loans. The reset fee is typically around $200 on top of whatever you owe. Jamal is now on the shoulder of a highway ramp at 7:04 in the morning, 22 miles from work, with a car that will not start and a phone showing 40-minute hold times. He calls his boss and gets voicemail. He texts, "Car trouble, working on it." He opens a rideshare app. The cheapest option to his job is $38. He books it. He will be 50 minutes late. While Jamal is in the back of a stranger's car heading to work, the automated machinery of credit reporting is already moving. His lender reported the delinquency to the 3 major credit bureaus overnight. A 2024 Consumer Consumer Financial Protection Bureau study found that a single missed auto payment drops a borrower's credit score by an average of more than 100 points. Jamal's score was 589 before this morning. By the time he reaches work, it has dropped into the 480s. In credit terms, that is the floor. If he needed to refinance this loan to lower his payments, the rate he would be offered would likely be worse than the one he already has. If he lost his apartment and needed to rent another, most landlords would reject his application automatically. The door he might have opened with better credit is not just closed now, it is sealed shut. He arrives at work 52 minutes late and his supervisor pulls him into the hallway. By noon, Jamal has received 9 voicemails. He checks them on his lunch break, standing outside in the parking lot. 4 are from the loan servicer's collections department. 2 are from a third-party collections vendor the servicer contracts with. 1 is from a number he does not recognize and leaves no message. 2 are from his supervisor following up on this morning. The collections calls follow a documented script. They are not illegal. Under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, collectors can call multiple times per day as long as they do not cross specific harassment thresholds. The language is calibrated, urgent but not threatening, designed to produce anxiety without crossing into actionable territory. One message says, "This is your final opportunity to bring your account current before further action is required." Jamal calls the servicer and waits 34 minutes on hold. When an agent answers, he asks about a hardship deferral, a program where the lender agrees to skip 1 month's payment and attach it to the end of the loan. The agent confirms it is available. He does not mention what it costs. Skipping 1 month adds approximately $900 in accrued interest to Jamal's remaining balance and extends the loan term by 2 months. The total interest he pays over the life of the loan increases by roughly 15%. Jamal does not know that yet. He says yes. At 3:30 in the afternoon, Jamal's wife texts him. She needs to pick up their daughter from school. She asks if the car situation is resolved. He tells her he got a deferral. She asks what that means. He says it means they bought a month. She asks about groceries. He checks the account. After the late fee, the rideshare fare this morning, and the $40 he sent his wife last week to cover a pharmacy bill, his checking account has $62 in it until Friday. She takes an Uber to the school. That is $14 gone. She picks up dinner from a dollar store. That is $9. His checking account now has $39. The car is still on the shoulder of the highway ramp where he left it this morning. He cannot afford the tow. He calls a coworker who agrees to help him push it into a nearby lot after their shift. The lot charges $12 a day. He does not know how long it will be there. His phone buzzes again. It is the supervisor. "Hey, need to talk tomorrow morning. Come in early." At 8 in the evening, Jamal sits at the kitchen table with a laptop and a notepad. He is trying to understand his options. He looks up refinancing. The best rate he can find with his current credit score is 23.7%. His current rate is 19.4. Refinancing would make things worse. He looks up voluntary surrender. That means bringing the car to the lender himself, handing over the keys, and letting them sell it at auction. Voluntary surrender shows up on his credit report and damages his score, though usually not as badly as a forced repossession. In 2025, voluntary surrenders surged 20% year over year, outpacing forced repossessions in states like Texas and Florida. People are doing the math and walking away before the tow truck comes for them, but surrendering the car does not end the debt. The lender auctions the vehicle, usually for far below market value. Whatever gap remains between the auction price and the outstanding loan balance becomes a deficiency judgment. In states like Texas, that judgment allows wage garnishment of up to 25% of your paycheck indefinitely. Jamal owes $19,000 on a car that will sell at auction for roughly $8,000. The deficiency would be $11,000. He could lose the car and still owe $11,000 he has no way to pay. He stares at the screen for a while and closes the laptop. What is happening to Jamal is not an accident, and it is not bad luck. It is the system working the way it was designed to work. A lender issues a subprime loan at 19%, knowing that a significant portion of these borrowers will default. That is not a failure of the model. It is the model. When Jamal defaults, the lender repossesses the vehicle and sells it at auction. Then they pursue a deficiency judgment for the remainder. Meanwhile, that same vehicle, now repossessed, gets cleaned up and sold again through a used car lot, often to another subprime borrower at another high interest rate. A single car can pass through 3 rounds of subprime financing in a single year. Some lenders process the same vehicle's debt loop 2 or 3 times over, collecting fees, interest, and auction proceeds at each turn. The business is not selling cars. The business is cycling debt through cars. Repossessions in the United States hit 1.73 million in the most recent full measurement year, the highest since 2009. We are repossessing vehicles at rates not seen since the tail end of the last financial crisis, except this time there is no official recession on the books. This is what normal looks like now. At the center of this machine is someone like Jamal, who needed a car to get to work, and whose need was worth more to the system as a profit source than as a transportation problem to solve. It is close to midnight. The house is quiet. Jamal's daughter is asleep. His wife went to bed an hour ago. He is standing at the kitchen window, looking out at the empty driveway. The car is in a parking lot 3 miles away, and he is already calculating how he gets to work tomorrow. His boss wants a meeting in the morning. He does not know yet if that meeting is disciplinary or a layoff, but he knows that if he loses this job, he loses the income he needs to clear the deferral. That means the loan goes delinquent again within 30 days. That means the next step is forced repossession, deficiency judgment, and a credit score that will make renting another apartment harder than it already is. One missed payment, $728. That is what started this. The timing is not coincidental. The gap between what subprime borrowers earn and what these loans cost was never designed to be comfortable. Borrowers on the edge of default generate more revenue per vehicle than borrowers who pay cleanly and early. Late fees, extended terms, accrued interest, deficiency judgments. The lender makes more money when Jamal barely keeps up than when he pays easily. The crisis he is in tonight was, in a very specific financial sense, the intended outcome. Why does this matter beyond Jamal's story? Auto loan delinquency rates at 90 days or more past due hit 6.2% among subprime borrowers in 2025, the highest since 2010. The average auto loan balance has grown 57% in 15 years, faster than mortgage growth. 1 in 7 new car buyers in late 2025 had a credit score below 650, the highest share since 2016. These are not numbers describing individual bad decisions. They are numbers describing a system that has reached its structural limit. Cars are not optional for most working Americans, and there is no substitute transportation system in most of the country. So workers keep signing loans they cannot comfortably afford because the alternative is no job. Lenders keep issuing those loans because the math still works for them, even when it collapses for the borrower. The question is not whether people should budget better. It is whether a society can function when the basic tool required to participate in the economy is priced in a way that mathematically guarantees a significant portion of buyers will fail. Based on current numbers, the answer appears to be no. Jamal is not a cautionary tale about spending habits. He did not buy a boat. He did not skip payments to take vacations. He bought a used car to get to work and accepted the only financing available to him at a rate the market assigned to his credit score for a vehicle priced at a level the market produced. Every step of that chain was shaped by decisions made decades before he signed anything. The loan terms, the interest rate, the GPS device under his dashboard, the automated credit reporting, the legal structure that allows deficiency judgments and wage garnishment, the lack of meaningful public transit, the vehicle prices that require financing, the wages that cannot support them. None of that is in his hands. What is in his hands at midnight, standing at that window, is the knowledge that tomorrow he has to find a way through it anyway. That is the real story of auto loan delinquency in America. Not the rates, not the statistics, but the person standing at the window calculating how to get to a job that might not exist in 12 hours. Knowing the car that was supposed to make all of this possible is now the center of a debt structure pulling everything else in.